With all those big time champions, recent former Big 12 champions, besides Oklahoma, with playing them all, you're going to have at least one at home, you would hope. Well, Oklahoma does have one at home. They went 12-1 last year, 8-1 in the league, only losing the one game all season to the Baylor Bears. They are the TCU Horned Frogs, who, like I said, finished 12-1 last year in 2014, 8-1 in Big 12 play. Preview of Gary Patterson and the Horned Frogs. The home finale for the Sooners. Coming up next. Don't go away. Hello everybody, my name's Harry James Taylor. 2008 was the last time they got two perennial Big 12 favorites to be played in Owen Field, the final game of the regular season. That was Oklahoma and Texas Tech in 08. Oklahoma has finally done it again. They tweaked their schedule a little bit, and they've made it to happen to where in 2015, they'll do it again, 7 years later. Or they will play TCU. I hope that this game gets moved to what they call championship weekend, which would knock it back 2 weeks after Bedlam. Probably not going to happen, though. You would have heard about it by now with just 3 weeks left till the regular season starts. But the next game on the docket is the TCU Horned Frogs, who in 2014 finished 12-1, 8-1 in league play, lost to Baylor in a barn burner. And they're leading the Purple Bandits will be, again, Gary Patterson, who's kind of been a staple there. Kind of like their Bob Stoops. He's been there, he's done that, he's won there. He wins there. He's won BCS games there. So, with that being said, the passing leaders. If you're going to be a Big 12 favorite like that, you have to have good players around you, right? Yeah, well, they do, including a returning quarterback like number 2, Trevon Boykin, who last year passed for 3,901 yards in the air to match 33 touchdowns, did, however, throw 10 picks. The leading rushers back for TCU, number 22, Aaron Green, is your returning player, as is their main man, Mr. Quarterback, Trevon Boykin, returning as leading rusher. First of all, the non-quarterback, that would be number 22, Aaron Green. Aaron rushed for 922 yards last year to go with 9 touchdowns last year for the Horned Frogs. Rushing-wise for TCU, for Trevon Boykin, number 2, he had 707 yards on the ground to go with 8 touchdowns. Overall, that is 4608 and 41 touchdowns and 10 picks. Not a bad night for a guy that they didn't even know if he was going to be quarterback. They thought he was going to be a receiver. Not bad statistics overall. Speaking of receivers, To pass for 309 yards, to get 309 of them in the air, you got to have some other guys to get them to, right? Well, they do. Josh Doxson is a receiver out there, as is number 9, as is number 7, Colby Listenby, back for another year. Doxson's the one that everybody's worried about. Number 9. He had 65 receptions last year for the Horned Frogs, while gaining 1,018 yards in the air, and did have 11 touchdowns last year for the Horned Frogs. Well, number 7, Colby Listenby, had 41 receptions last year to go with 753 yards and 4 touchdowns as a Horned Frog. Now, if you're going to go 12-1 and 8-1 in the league, you got to have some defense to match in there with Baylor, right? You got to be able to D it up in there with Baylor. Well, they will be able to. They were able to last year, and you think they'll be able to this year with a couple of guys coming back, including number 26, Kendrick Kennard, and number 40, James McFarland. Number 26, Kendrick Kennard first. He finished with 80 tackles last year for the Frogs, while forcing a fumble. He didn't have any fumble recoveries, but did have a pick. Their other leading tackler from last year, returning James McFarland, 41 tackles, 3 forced fumbles, 0 fumbles recovered, and a pick. Gary Patterson is their main man. He spent his playing time at Kansas State. Coaching history, spent some time at New Mexico before heading to TCU in 2000. And has been there ever since. Through those years, he has a $132 to go with wins, 45 to go losses. That is a .746 winning percentage. In bowl games, TCU, Patterson and Company, 8-5. That's a .615 winning percentage, including a couple of those BCS games like I was talking about in the Rose, and I believe where they beat Wisconsin. Pretty darn good Wisconsin team out of the Big Ten. Divisional championships, Conference USA in 2002, they had 1. They added 4 more conference titles from the Mountain West Conference. First one came in 2005. They then added the other 3 back-to-back-to-back conference titles. That was in 2009, 2010, 2011. Took a couple of years off. Got invited to play with the big boys. And last year, 2014, got a share of the Big 12 championship with Baylor. They did win the Peach Bowl last year over Ole Miss, 42-3. That is a SEC team that finished 10-3. They finished 6-2 in the Western Division of the SEC. 2 more weeks coming up. That means 1 more team to preview and then ourselves. 2 weeks left. Next weekend, we'll preview the Oklahoma State Cowboys and Mike Gundy. Had a pretty good year last year to end the season. Kind of had some rough patches in the middle, but towards the end, got hot. Losing to those the other reigning Big 12 champion Baylor, before winning against Oklahoma and their bowl game. We'll preview the rest of Oklahoma State next week. Stay tuned right here. Remember to find me on Facebook, Harry James Taylor. Tweet me or find me on Periscope. On both Twitter and Periscope, I am at SoonerFanOK. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. See y'all next week. And until then, Boomer Sooner. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. I'm out.